Chief congressional correspondent Nancy Cordes is here with CBS News political correspondent Ed O'Keefe. Nancy will be covering the Senate races tonight, and Ed will be watching the House contest. But of course, both of you are experts in all of the races.
Exactly right.
Yes, you know all of them. Let's start with the Senate. Assuming that the Democrats could hold on to Missouri and Indiana, is this a race that's going to be fought in the Sun Belt, Arizona and Nevada?
Yes, I mean, that's certainly where Republicans are most vulnerable. You've got Dean Heller of Nevada. He's probably the most vulnerable Senate Republican. He represents a state that went narrowly for Hillary Clinton in 2016. So we'll be watching that as a possible Democratic pickup. And then Jeff Flake retiring in Arizona, that becomes an open seat. And so you've got a very tight race there between Martha McSally, the Republican, a congresswoman, against Kyrsten Sinema, her fellow congresswoman, the Democrat. And the polls there have been all over the place. Sometimes one is up by 5, the other's up by 6. So that's going to be a really exciting race to watch.
Nancy, one of the earliest races we're going to know something about is Indiana. Is that important to you, not just because it's early, but because it might mean something else, or are there other races you should look at?
I mean, I think that is a fascinating race to watch because Joe Donnelly is one of the 3 most endangered Democrats, along with Joe Manchin of West Virginia and Heidi Heitkamp of North Dakota. Donnelly voted against Kavanaugh for Supreme Court. That was a very difficult decision for him. He knew that that was going to be difficult in a state like Indiana that went for President Trump so overwhelmingly in the presidential election. The polls look decent for him right now, but, you know, this is one of those states like Tennessee, like Texas, where anything could happen.
And Ed, you put together an hour-by-hour look at the races in the Congress. As Norah said, you guys both know everything about everything. So what are you looking for tonight that gives you an indication of how things are going to go in the House?
Democrats keep telling us they have multiple ways to net the 23 seats that they need to retake the majority. So you can look at a few early states and get a sense of where they might do quite well.
Like?
Virginia, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey. All 3 of those. If they win a majority of the competitive races in those states, they're about halfway to the 23 before 10 p.m. Eastern tonight. Virginia 10, just outside Washington, an almost guaranteed Democratic pickup if you believe the polls. If they win something like the 2nd district in Virginia, down in Norfolk, then blue tsunami warnings may be issued nationwide, because that's the kind of race that is a reach that Republicans worry about, that they could conceivably win.
One of the most important storylines tonight is not only women on the ballot, but women marching to the polls.
Right, women voters and women candidates. I mean, polls have showed that women are walking away from, and in some cases running away from, the Republican Party. So how pronounced is that shift tonight? And are women more motivated to vote? That's something that we'll be able to see in our exit polls. And then beyond that, this has been a really extraordinary year for women candidates. 238 women on the ballot in the House alone tonight. That is a huge uptick, 167 just 2 years ago. So right now we've got 84 women currently serving in the House. If they have a great night tonight, they could surpass 100. A big increase, but that's still only 20-25% of the House. Women make up 51% of the population.
3,800 in state legislatures.
That's right.
Women in state legislatures.
Good example of how they could change the makeup of Congress. Pennsylvania right now has an all-male delegation, almost guaranteed that at least 1, 2, maybe as many as 5 women will join that delegation.
And Ed, the president has had one constant theme these past few weeks, and that is immigration, immigration, immigration. If Republicans do hold both houses, will we see immigration legislation?
You'll see them begin to push to, as the campaign signs say at his rally, finish the wall. Whether Democrats allow for that, or if there's some kind of a deal where dreamers are legalized in the process, we'll see.
All right. Our experts, Ed and Nancy, thank you so much. Continuous live coverage of the midterm elections begins on CBSN today at 5 p.m. 4 Central. And we'll all be here for primetime election night special starting at 8, 7 Central, right here on CBS.